All rise. The January session of the Mcnairy County Commission is now in session. The Honorable Ronnie Brooks is presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask Steve Hunter to open us with prayer, followed by Ash, if you want to lead us in praise of allegiance.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we just love you. We thank you for what you do for us every single day, Lord. I just thank you for this wonderful nation that we live in, Lord, and just the freedoms that we have, Lord. Just help us not take them for granted. And Lord, I pray now for your wisdom and guidance as we conduct the business of this county. I pray you'll lead and guide us and watch over this county and bless it, Lord. We ask this in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Aubrey Harris. Here. David McCullough. Here. John Talbot. Here. Steve Browder. Here. Jeff Lippert. Here. Matt Wood. Present. Kevin Lippert. Troy Moore. Here. Carol Ann Woods. Here. Tammy Dillon. Keith Jernigan. Here. Jay Weatherford. Here. Brenda Colley.
Here.
Steve Hunter. Here. Stan Wheeler. Here. Wilbur Nash. Here. Neil Burks. Here. Sandy Whitaker.
Here.
Greg Martin. Here. Jim Rickman. Anthony Smith. Here. 18.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a quorum, so we'll move forward with the agenda. Approval of the minutes. I think all of you should have already received those. Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Second?
Second.
Second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Committee reports. Building committee. Mr. Wheeler.
The building committee had been working on the projects that were set before us, and building committee members, if I miss anything, y'all chime in. The bid specs will be put in the paper this week on the library renovations. And we have a spec sheet that is going to be available. We do have a walkthrough requirement, so there won't be anybody saying they didn't know something. The roof for the Justice Center, the museum, and the courthouse also are going to be submitted. So in the near future, we'll have proposals to present to the full court. The only thing that we are questioning and hopefully going to avoid, and I don't know that we're going to be able to, if the amount of the renovations at Mcnairy or a certain point, we'll have to have an engineer sign off on our product. You know, and I say it's renovation, it's not new, so, but anyway, that's, we may have to face that, so that might delay us a little bit, but as soon as we get the numbers in, we'll review them and make another presentation for y'all. Any questions? Thank you.
Brother Board?
You didn't have to be.
Okay. All right, under new business, I think everyone should have received an email in regards to a resolution or support resolution regarding the new TBI facility in Jackson. If you're not familiar with it, Dee Frazier, I guess I got it, was killed in the line of action. And I'm gonna basically, I think everyone should have gotten that in an email today. If you did not, I've got some copies. But it's just in support of naming that after Agent Frazier. It's no cost. Obviously added to the cost of the facility. And I'm going to read this to you, basically a little bit, so you have a little bit of knowledge about him. Dee Frazier was one of the first and only Tennessee Bureau of Investigation agents ever killed in the line of duty. D. Frazier was serving honorably when he was killed during an undercover sting operation on August the 9th, 2016. His death occurred in Madison County where the new TBI facility is planned, and the new TBI facility is intended to serve the West Tennessee area where D. Frazier was a longtime resident, and where he served as a law enforcement officer in various capacities, including as a University of Memphis police officer, Millington police officer, Shelby County Sheriff's Reserve officer, and TBI agent. TBI agent Mark Gwynn described D. Frazier as exactly what we look for in a TBI agent: hardworking, enthusiastic, and dedicated to making Tennessee a better place to live. And D. Frazier's sacrifice was significant, that he was only 35 years old at the time of his death, leaves behind a wife and 2 young children. $25 million, 40,000 square foot TBI facility is already planned, and the commemorative name of the facility for D. Frazier would add no extra cost. So, and basically the resolution will end with be it resolved that the county commissioners of Mcnairy County in a regular meeting on this night would vote to be in approval of supporting that. So do I entertain a motion or motion to accept? Second, McCullough. Any discussions or questions about that? Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. What we'll do is, because it will be sent to the General Assembly in regular session to request it. All in favor of? Aye. Any opposition? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Kind of went on a different direction there for a moment. Sorry about that. Okay, I have this Eddie Crittenden here. I have Eddie on the agenda. Okay, we'll give him a little bit more time. We're submitting for your consideration Keith Reinhardt as a new 911 board member. So we'll vote on that in our next regular meeting. We did receive, believe it or not, as a part of the Healthier Tennessee initiative, we were fortunate enough to be one out of, I think there's 89 counties in the state of Tennessee that received a $10,000 grant to any kind of improvement or health improvement or any kind of anything that would advance the wellness of the community. Now, there are no strings attached. Actually, they're going to send us the money first. So we will have it in hand before we ever have to pay out anything, so which is good. But the plans are, it's actually to do a center here in the city of Selma, a workout center or station. And I've got civil dancers here, Miss Patty Kitty, who is the director of our health department, Katie Weatherford, and Jessica Huff, and Beth Hamilton, all serving on this committee to come up with the idea. And we've got an idea. And this is going to be reoccurring funds, and it will be each year will be available. Now, based on the needs and the project, of course, that could be open to anybody in the community, as long as for any community in the county that it's properly prepared plan and to you know, what it has to deal with a healthier community. So, what I just want to bring before you tonight is you need to open up some discussion and allow some of them to give you some of their ideas, and then let's vote support of this, because we will administer it, obviously, but this is not typical of most grants that we get. We usually have to go ahead and begin the work, and then we have to pay the bill, and then they reimburse us. So this is a little bit different. The funds are going to be available February 1st, and I'll let them kind of give you a little bit of background on that, but it is, help me out with the name, Miss Patty. And I think I even brought it up, but I can't remember now.
It's called Rural Access to Health and Healthy Active Built Environments Grant.
And,
I know.
yeah,
Right
yeah.
now.
But it's part of this, what is it, the Big Four, which is,
It focuses on the Big Four for our Tennessee Department of Health Commissioner, John Dreisman. Those Big Four are tobacco, obesity, physical inactivity, and substance abuse.
And these little stations would be throughout the city park or something. In other words, it would be workout equipment, outdoor workout equipment like elliptical, push-ups. Help me out. Help me out, Sybil.
It's just, you'll see they've got one in Jackson, and it's kind of between the farmer's market and the lift, and in that area back in there. And what it is we just put like little stations, and there's, you can walk, as the people are walking, they can stop off at these stations and do some leg presses, or they can do some chest exercises, you know, and there'll be different things that'll be outside. And these are on hydraulics, but everybody's like, oh my gosh, you know, this, they can't be in the weather, but it's on hydraulics. So it's outside fitness equipment is what it is. And as he was saying, it's reoccurring. It's $10,000. They are a little expensive, but we'll be able to put in somewhere between maybe 4 to 6 of them the first round, and then maybe another round we could go the rest of the way out in the big field and finish it up. So it's not, you know, just something that we're wanting to do just for the city park. It's something we're doing for the whole thing. The main reason, and I'll just tell you, Mr. Ronnie come up with this idea of doing just the city park where it'd be in the shade. Because there's no shade out in the big field, and he's afraid that people will get hot. That's what it was. But that's kind of what we're doing is, you know, putting these stations, they'll just be located at, you know, different spots around the track.
And like Mayor Brooks said, it is recurring, and it doesn't, we decided to start with Selmer first because this is new to all of us. And we thought we'd work the kinks out before we went out into the communities to do it, because there are guidelines we have to follow. Anytime you get free money, there's always rules to go by. So we're gonna work the kinks out here before we venture out into the communities and spend some money out there.
So this is you said $60,000 a year?
I wish.
I didn't hear you. I thought you said 10, and then you were gonna do 6 the first year. I was like, whoa, that's a big.
Units, 6 units, 6 units.
Okay, that's different.
We'd like to have 60. Yeah, we take it, they give it to us, but they won't.
Well, I don't know if that's enough equipment that's gonna get our mayor in shape.
I don't think, I agree with you.
Is there a time limit on it? Like we're gonna, so we're gonna like, we get it for 5 years or?
We don't know.
You don't know?
We don't know how many years. We've just been told that it'll happen again next year. When you talk about getting in shape, Mcnairy County, the state of Tennessee looks at the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation County Health Rankings. 95 is the healthiest. Mcnairy's 55. We're number 55.
And actually, that has improved.
It has.
It improved. It was a lot. We were like, what, 70?
There's only
72.
one county in West Tennessee that's been in the top 11, and that was Chester County.
But it's a great opportunity for us to do something in the community. So, any other questions for Patty or Sybil? Entertain a motion because we will administer the grant through the county. And we'll have to still ultimately be signed off on it through our office, the mayor's office.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Second.
Thank y'all. Thank you.
Thank y'all. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Mr. Clerk? Notice? We got a game fixed to start here shortly, though.
Excuse me, Mayor, we gotta talk about the
Oh,
tax sale.
I'm sorry, and I even had it down here. Craig, get it. Throw something at me, Craig.
Keep talking. I'm trying to. Committee met earlier. We have 11 properties the county owns. We purchased from tax sales. One of those we think we purchased from tax sales, been here so long, we're not sure. But we're treating that as if we did. And that one property is on Maxton Lane, is what the tax records show, but it's actually off William T. Lane. And we've gotten a bid. The county last May or June had sent out an advertisement, put it in the paper, listed those 11 properties for sale.
at the appraised value, what the tax appraisal was. We got no bid, no offers, no contact except for the one property in William T, being $1,000 or $1,200, $1,500 for that parcel. We got to bring that to this committee to get it approved to sell, and then you have to approve to sell it. And then if you agree to that, then we have to run out the paper that he's willing to buy it at the price, and we'll get that exact figure for you and put it in there. Anyone can come in and raise that bid. They have 10 days to raise that bid. If they do, we'll have basically an auction between him and whoever else raises the bid. We may have 5 people raise the bid. That raise it 10%, and then we go from there. So that's the first item we need to get taken care of. And then the second item would be that the other 10 properties that we couldn't get any bids on, that we just advertise those for sale with no minimum bid, hoping that that'll generate some activity. Again, they would make that bid to the mayor's office, and again, we'll have to bring that back unless it exceeds, even if it exceeds now what we had put in there originally. We'll just have to bring it back to this body for approval, and then, of course, that'll have to be ran in the paper, and anybody can come in and raise that bid if they want to. It's just the mayor has an obligation to get rid of these tax properties, and you want to get them back on the tax roll. So that's the purpose of all this. And so we just need a motion, I guess, to do those two things.
The committee met, our recommendation was to accept the bid on the G. Maxton or William T. Lane property and then re-advertise the other 10. And I'd like to put that in the form of a motion.
Second. All in favor? Any opposition? Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, Mr. Kennedy. Sometimes we have to throw something at you. Notaries, Paulette Johnson and Anita Louise Rousey.
Second.
Second by Aubrey Harris. All in favor? Any opposition? Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir.
What's the status on the, saw on the paper a while back about the school board building program? Was something that's going to come before this body?
But it's not to that point. So that, we've got to have a little bit more discussion on that. There was a joint meeting between the education committee and the budget committee. It's written on the side many months ago.
That was back in November.
Back in the fall.
Nothing's been, haven't done anything.
So we're still waiting on them to come
We're just,
before the body?
basically, we had to we had a presentation of what it entailed, what the building project was, like what the plans were.
I think some people have got the impression that we're the one that's dragging our feet because the paper made the statement
Right.
that the county commission had to do something. And that's not the true facts. And we need that clarified that we're not dragging our feet. I was at that meeting we met on. I was very impressed with it. I'm ready to go. I don't know what the holdup is or anything about it, but as far as I know, the county commission not dragging its feet.
No, sir. Any other questions, discussion?
I have a discussion.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, what's the status of the design team plant that's coming to Adams?
Actually, that was, Mr. Crittenden was gonna kind of give us an update tonight, but obviously, we haven't had conflict. And I'm really not, Steve, really share that at this point.
Okay.
It really needs to come from him.
There's just a lot of rumor
Sure,
speculation around the county.
sure. But I can tell you that, the project at the moment is on hold. I can just say that much.
Thank you.
Steve, I just talked to Mr. Blessick before I came to the meeting tonight, and it is on hold. That's about all I can say at this time.
Not out of the question, but I'm home.
On hold.
Thank you.
Apparently, there's still some negotiations.
Okay.
Any other questions? Anything brought before this board?
Anything about the hospital?
Right now, we haven't heard from CHS at this point, have we, correct? We haven't even heard of any correspondence from them regarding when we voted to to decline the property. So, now we have met with an agency regarding some of the opportunities that we might have. And there is well, we really can't discuss, it is a private transaction we can't discuss at this point, so we can't go into, but that may be another option out there. Any other questions?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn? Second? We got this second, see, right? All in favor? Stand up and go.